Thanks for staying with us on the conversation. On the first half, we looked at William Ruto's inauguration and the task ahead. Right now, we switch to Zambia, where the chief state prosecutor says her life is in danger after the government withdrew all her security. Lilian Siyunyi, who was appointed by the previous government, has fallen out with the new administration and is a subject of complaints against her professional conduct at the Judicial Complaints Commission, JCC.
Now, she has refused to appear before the Judicial Complaints Commission, arguing that a constitutional oath of secrecy first needed to be lifted by President Hakainde Hichilema before she could appear before the body. Ms. Siyunyi added that if she responded to any of the charges against her before the lifting of the oath of secrecy, she would be breaking the Constitution and committing a crime. Now, joining us live from Zambia to discuss this, we have Isaac Mwanza, governance legal activist. We also have Mr. Peter Sinkamba, who's the president of Green Party in Zambia. Gentlemen, a warm welcome to you both, and thanks for joining us on the conversation.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for having us on your program today.
You're welcome. Now, I'd like to start with you, Peter. Where did the travails of the Director of Public Prosecutions, Lilian Siyunyi, begin? Apparently, she's not the only Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions in the past that has undergone some sort of travails. Some commentaries say maybe the office is even jinxed. Why has she been asked to appear before the Judicial Complaints Commission?
Okay, the main issue is this. There was a case of theft by agent or something in that direction, where a former liquidator of one of the mining companies, a company which was placed on liquidation by the previous government, is alleged to have pocketed money without due authority, and then the Drug Enforcement Commission, money laundering unit, arrested him for that particular offense related to money laundering. But then that matter went to court, and as required under the law, the Director of Public Prosecutions took over handling of that case. And then whatever may have transpired, there was an indemnity agreement which was entered into by the Director of Public Prosecutions and the former liquidator to have this case out of court. And in that agreement, when it was shared to the public, it was stated that as part of his condition to relinquish his liquidation process, the government was going to indemnify him against the matter which was before the court, but the indemnity extended to even any other matters, even which were not before court. Yeah, so that is where the problem arose, because according to the Constitution, of course, the DPP has power to enter a nolle prosecution at any stage for a matter that is before court. Okay, and that power is unquestionable. No one can question that. But to extend her authority beyond what is prescribed in the Constitution, where she gave a blanket indemnity.
It's an abuse of office.
Stakeholders, yes, some stakeholders found that as abuse of office, because unfortunately, shortly after he was released on a nolle, so the Drug Enforcement Commission arrested this same former liquidator on another matter which was not before court. And that annoyed the DPP. She challenged the Director of Drug Enforcement Commission on why this person was arrested without authority, and also even threatened action against the Drug Enforcement Commission, which powers she doesn't have. because she does not control the Drug Enforcement Commission or any other legal enforcement officials, and she have no power to discipline them. And now when they went further to try and find out why she was behaving like that, that's when there was this production of the indemnity agreement. So the director of Drug Enforcement Commission felt that was abuse of power, and in fact it was gross misconduct, and she decided to report that matter to JCC.
Okay.
Other stakeholders too, yes, came on board to also complain against that behavior because it was found that she acted outside the provisions of the Constitution and therefore was liable for discipline by the JCC.
All right, thank you so much, Peter. You've given your own take on the issue. I'd like Isaac now to take part in this. Now, a lot of people have asked her to testify, saying that her life is at stake, but Lillian Siyuni says she can only appear before the Judicial Complaints Commission if President Hakainde Hichilema lifts her oath of secrecy. I would like your own take on this. Is her response valid?
So thank you very much. The question that we must be asking ourselves is, why is she asking for the president to lift her immunity, oath of secrecy, I mean? Why is she asking the president to lift the oath of secrecy? She is asking the president to do that, in my view, because of the circumstances of this matter and the evidence that she might need to use before the commission to defend herself. Now, you must also appreciate the fact that despite all those sentiments that have been issued, which are correct by my brother, Mr. Sinkamba, as to the genesis of this matter involved, according to the documents that have been filed before the court, which brought it to light, involved a number of people. For instance, some ministers are alleged to have facilitated a deal signed between the Director of Public Prosecution and the accused person. The Attorney General's office has also been dragged into the same mess, but they've come out and said, no, we did not participate in it. We could have learned about this, and then there are a lot of minutes that are coming out of those meetings. So there are a lot of people that are involved in this matter. And the moment she has to speak, it means that people from State House, people from the Attorney General, some ministers who are sworn to defend the Constitution, all of them would have to come on board and should have to mention to say, this is what could have happened. The other question that we must be asking ourselves is it a practice? Has it been a practice for the office of the DPP to grant accused persons immunity? If it has been a practice, she might want to rely on that practice to defend herself before the JCC. Because a lot has been said that she is not the first DPP who has granted immunity to an accused person. We know that the Constitution provides immunity for the president. We know that some certain officers have immunity. For instance, the Director General of the Anti-Corruption Commission and the staff, they enjoy statutory immunity from criminal prosecution. So even accused person, you can be granted immunity from prosecution. But this kind of immunity that has been granted is where the people are asking to say, under what power did you grant that immunity? And that is a complaint before the commission. I would not know, and I'm sure my brother, Mr. Sinkamba, does not know whether it is a practice in the office of the DPP to be issuing immunity to accused person, whether it has been done before, whether there is information which you might want to rely on before the Judicial Complaints Commission to say, maybe this is how we have been doing in the office of the DPP. Maybe she might want to discuss the meetings that she has had with various government officials, Attorney General who have been mentioned, the Solicitor General, and many others who might actually be implicated in the matter, and all of them swore to defend the Constitution. So she has asked a question to the president, please lift my oath of secrecy. so that I can be free to defend myself. And the president has turned it down through the Attorney General. That is the status where we are.
Thank you, Isaac. Now, Peter, there's some observers that believe that Ms. Sinyunyu travails political. If you recall, in 2017, as DPP, she made the current president go to jail, Hakainde Hichilema, over a routine traffic offense. People are still wondering how he ended up as a case of treasonable felony. So they believe, you know, the current administration has one up on her, and they see this as a type of political vendetta. Do you agree, or is there a strong case for her to appear before the Judicial Complaints Commission to defend herself against charges of alleged incompetence and gross misconduct?
Well, I think there is a very strong case, you know, because you see, I mean, we have had the practice before where a DPP enters a knowledge, okay, and there's some agreement, but no agreement can cover outside matters, the matters which are not before court. Because if that one is allowed, then even myself, I can go to the DPP, go into an arrangement and sign an agreement with this DPP to say, for me, for the rest of my life, I shall never be arrested by any offense, by any enforcement officers. And if I'm arrested, I must be indemnified. So you find that people with money can buy their way never to be arrested at all on any offense in the country, because they'll claim they have got an agreement with the DPP. Yeah. And that's why the Constitution does not allow that. It only allows for matters that are before court. But if there's anything else outside court, the only time the DPP comes into play is when this matter is brought to her for either a fiat to allow it to proceed for trial, or whilst the matter is under trial, the DPP enters a nolle. That is the only provision which allows that to happen. Because otherwise, if we go the route she used, then in this country, there can be a lot of criminality. A lot of people can just go and buy their way, get agreements with DPPs, and then they will never be arrested. And we can't allow that. But now coming to the issue of whether there is really credibility in her statement to state that she needs to be given a waiver. You know, the oath of office has two aspects. One, it states that if someone is going to provide information which is in the line of duty, that person can release that information without any problem. Or otherwise, when the president authorizes it. So in this particular case, she is appearing on account of her performance of work. And the JCC is authorized to hear matters concerning her performance of work. And in addition to that, at JCC, when you appear, my friend and I, Isaac, we have appeared before JCC when we took the judges of the Concord for removal from office on gross misconduct and on matters to do with incompetence. There is a procedure where you take a fresh oath of office. I mean a fresh oath, which indemnifies you against whatever you are going to inform the JCC. If it is factual, it doesn't matter who is affected, whether it's the president, the minister, it's whoever, provided that information you are going to give JCC, if it is factual, you are indemnified against any criminal sanctions against you. Only when you tell lies, that is when you have a problem, because then you yourself, you shall be prosecuted for perjury, for telling a lie to the commission. So there is no problem which she has to go and testify before the commission under oath, and whether the president has given her authority or not, because the oath she would take will override the other oath which she had taken, because now she's appearing before this JCC, which wants to get the truth, what really happened, and things like that. Now, coming to the issue of 2017, the 2017 case where the former president, the former president or former administration, they arrested the current president on that fake treason charge.
Yeah.
Actually, we all protested that there was no treason at all. And even the way he came out of that arrangement, there was again negotiations. I was part of the people that were involved in negotiating that the state drops that case, because really it was just embarrassing everyone else. It had no merit, and we could not afford to put someone in prison for a long time.
As DPP, she took up this case.
Pardon?
As the DPP, she took up this case that lacked
She took
merit.
up that case,
Yes.
but the trial never took off. So between the time of incarceration and the time she was going, I mean, the current president was going to appear, we went into discussions and negotiations where we finally agreed at some point that the matter was going to be dropped.
Okay.
And it was dropped, yes. So it has no big deal at all to this current arrangement.
Okay.
Okay, let's hear from Isaac now on the office of the Director of Public Prosecution, because it seems like when there's a new president, somehow the office, the DPP is removed from the office, despite the security of tenure provided to the office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. Why do you think this is so?
Kind of precedents that has been created where whenever there is change of regime, we see a DPP hunted out of office on various allegations. Why is this so? Probably it's about the politics that come into play at that particular point in time. It's been said that a lot of reasons have been given, but they all boil down to politics. In this case, I think we are talking about some alleged misconduct or violation, incompetence on the part of the DPP. This is what I want to restrict myself to say, why do they want to remove the DPP? I want to agree with my elder brother, Mr. Sinkamba, that there is a matter before the commission. The DPP ought to appear before the commission and be able to defend herself. I also want to add that the provision that she has relied upon, Section 5 of the State Proceedings Act, prohibits her from giving out directly or indirectly classified information, except in two instances. One is when she is performing her duties, or two, when it is in the interest of the Republic that she has to give out that information. For me, the bigger and compelling reason why she has to go to the DPP and to the Judicial Complaints Commission and tell them is because this is in the interest of the Republic, that she defends herself, she gives all the information that she has, without even asking for the oath of secrecy to be lifted. She can do that. The data, however, why the President and the Attorney General found it fit that they could deny that authority to lift the oath of secrecy is that we don't know exactly what information, even the executive, they do not know the information that she wants to adduce. Whether this is classified information that can land her in jail or that can land any other people in jail. The request was not very specific. If there are specific documents that she needed to request, probably she would have requested for that. But this is a matter that is in court, and we are yet to hear how the judicial review is going to come up this Friday, because it is going to be held this Friday before the High Court, where she has taken the matter.
Thank you,
for
Isaac.
me, I think that it's an issue of, let her go before the Judicial Complaints Commission with all the documents, the evidence that she might have, with every recordings that she may have, and be able to present it. Is it in the interest of the Republic? Yes, it will be in the interest of the Republic. However, I think that there will be consequences on those that might be involved. For instance, if the President decided that this is where the information came from, how does the President defend himself at the Judicial Complaints Commission? Those are the questions that should be asked. If it's the ministers, how do they defend themselves?
Thank you, Isaac. I would like Comrade Sinkamba to respond to this, if you can, in less than a minute. We are fast running out of time. As we speak, Lillian Sinyunye is still Director of Public Prosecution for the Republic of Zambia. She's alleged that the government withdrew all the security detail, and as a result of that, she's in danger. We do know our office is a very sensitive one. What do you make of this, and how do you see all of this playing out?
Well, I tried to get further details to establish when the security detail was removed. I was informed that yes, there has been security from the house withdrawn, but again, the other information which I got is that it is not like an obligation by the state to ensure that there is police at the house. It is a discretionary issue according to what I was informed.
Okay.
There is nowhere in the Constitution where it says a DPP shall be guarded, or anywhere in the Act itself where it says the DPP shall be guarded. That is the information I got. But I'm told it is going to the Parliament. I think Parliament should be hearing this removal of security to get further guidance from Parliament on entitlement as DPP.
Thank you very much, Honourable Sinkamba, Peter Sinkamba, and I'd like to say thank you to you, Isaac Mwanza. Thanks for your time and contribution to the conversation today. We do appreciate your insight.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you.
Good day.
Okay, this is where we drop the anchor on today's conversation. In the first half of the show, we did look at the new dispensation in Kenya as a former deputy president, now President Ruto, has been sworn in, and we just concluded our conversation on the Director of Public Prosecution in the Republic of Zambia, complaining that her life is under danger as a security detail have been removed. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. I am Gbenga Aborowa.
And the conversation does not end here. Join us on our social media platforms at News Central TV. I am Rita Omodia. Bye-bye.
Bye.